It's a long story, but I'm going to make it short, okay? Unfortunately, over time, we have not increased the pool of varied interests in healthcare. And research is one of the areas that, really has been lacking, especially when it comes to minority researchers. Let me give you an example. There are several drugs that we use in the practice of medicine today that we probably should not have used in certain segments of the population simply because they were not researched properly. The ability to improve on that means that we have to raise up a nation of people who are interested in research, which we really haven't done before. We usually wait till people get through undergrad to decide that this is the track that they want to take. What this program does, not only here in Detroit, but around the country, is provide an avenue for people with an interest from various backgrounds to start early on a career in research. So what we're expecting out of this 10 years from now is to be able to sit back and say, boy, it worked, the numbers are improving, and keep a steady stream coming through after that. Well, first of all, it's early introduction, it's mentorship, it's the kind of support that they would not get until very later on in their educational careers. It starts now, it gives them a head start, gives them a leg up, and in actuality, some of them will latch onto this and take to it like a fish to water. They will zoom, because we've seen that in every other aspect of education. When we start early, we see people just take off and rise, and we expect that to happen in the BUILD program around the country. Well, that was an idea that came from National Institutes of Health and the Howard Hughes Medical Institute in terms of which institutes or universities were chosen to participate in this in various locations across the country. That's about all I know about how they decided on who would participate here in Detroit, but it has done something else also. Instead of just knowing that another the Institute of Higher Education is across town, it has done something in terms of research that is forging people together. These three institutions have begun to more than just talk. There's action behind what they do. This program is kind of central, kind of core at this point to that, but it's actually making sure that other elements of Wayne State University, University of Detroit Mercy, as well as Marygrove, begin to collaborate and participate together. We're seeing it in ways that people never expected to see it before because we're just too busy, but now there is a common mantra that exists in terms of these people collaborating to make sure that we can actually build students that can succeed in research. If you look outside the walls of the university and there's nobody there, you say, well, we don't have anybody to come through. This produces the product. This produces the new applicants. This produces the people who are really interested. And not only that, they will show up with a history, with a background, with a resume that will be full of activity and experience instead of being a wannabe in research. They will actually be ready to hit the ground running.
Are outside partnerships important as well to the success of this program?
Oh yes, as a matter of fact, before the program even started, 3-4 years ago, as it was formulating at the National Institutes of Health, our organization, the National Medical Association, was brought to the table to talk about the ins and outs of how you do this, what are the particulars of this. Getting the brain trust together was very important, and that was as far as 4 years ago, and this is just the second year of the program nationally. So outside entities have all cooperated and collaborated in getting this to what it is now. The Cobb Fellows, as you know, are actively engaged in research of all sorts, and whether it's biology, biochemistry, or health disparities. The Cobb Journal actively prints publications every month from people who are already through the research pipeline. These folks at this level, freshmen working with those kind of people, will be able to have an opportunity to even publish presentations of adequate research in credible journals. This is almost unprecedented on this scale in this country. They're in this for the long haul. This is not just an experiment of 1 or 2 years. I think that the initial commitment was 4 or 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. And there is even talk now, because the programs like this one here in Detroit has gained so much attention. What do we do next? What does the next 5 years look forward after that? So that means that the collaboration will even grow wider than what we expected. So we'll be looking at how ceremonies like these related to this will take place in Washington, D.C. Under the auspices of National Institutes of Health also.